Welcome to Ink 2 Video. We make books into visual stories.
Meet Vardha, always told he's naturally gifted. He has built his professional identity on a single foundation, being the smartest person in the room. Then, a complex new project lands on his desk. It involves systems he has never used before, and for the first time in a long time, he doesn't understand the material immediately. Internal panic sets in. Vardha assumes that if he has to actually struggle and work hard to figure this out, it proves he isn't as smart as everyone thinks he is. To protect his ego, he backs away. He tells his manager the project isn't a good use of his time, masking a deep fear of looking stupid behind a wall of casual disinterest. Psychologist Dweck identified this specific trap. She calls it the fixed mindset, the belief that your intelligence and talents are static traits carved in stone from birth. You either have them or you don't. For high performers like Vardha, the label of talent acts as a rigid cage. To protect that prestigious label, they learn to avoid failure at all costs, ultimately sacrificing their own ability to grow. Feeling stuck as his peers surpass him, Vardha stumbles onto Dweck's research. Here, he discovers a completely alternate psychological framework, the growth mindset. This framework operates on the premise that your basic abilities are not locked in at birth. They are developed through sustained effort, through careful strategy, and continuous learning. To understand why Vardha got stuck in the first place, we have to look back at childhood. When kids are constantly praised for being naturally smart, they learn that their worth is tied to effortless perfection. Dweck studies reveal a sharp contrast in how kids respond to difficulty based on the praise they receive. Praising children for their innate intelligence makes them more likely to quit when things get hard. Praising them for their effort and strategy builds resilience. In a growth mindset, having to exert extreme effort carries no shame. It is viewed as the required fuel for mastery. The specific words adults use to praise children dictate how those kids process difficulty decades later. Those early patterns determine whether we view failure as a vital tool for learning or a threat to our identity. This psychological theory is backed by biological reality. It relies on a concept called neuroplasticity, the brain's physical ability to reorganize itself and form new connections throughout your life. When you struggle with a difficult new problem, neurons form stronger physical connections. When you make an active mistake, your brain shows heightened electrical activity, actively processing the error to figure out what went wrong. You can trigger this neuroplastic state with a very simple cognitive tool. Anytime you catch yourself saying, "I don't know how to do this," you intentionally add the word "yet" to the end of the sentence. Vardha puts this into practice. He monitors his negative self-talk. He intentionally seeks out challenges and celebrates grueling work sessions as successes in themselves. He realizes failure provides raw neurological data. It prompts the brain to build a smarter, more resilient pathway for the next attempt. Soon, Vardha faces a high-stakes test. He receives an invitation to give a major presentation to the senior executives, a task he would usually decline with a manufactured excuse. This time, he applies the "not yet" framework. He accepts that he isn't a great public speaker right now, and he chooses to view the friction of the upcoming presentation as essential practice. Instead of agonizing over delivering a flawless performance, he channels his energy strictly into the process of preparing and learning the material. The presentation goes well, but the real test happens after. Rather than hiding from criticism, he actively asks the executives for the constructive feedback he needs to improve. By repeating this process, Vardha replaces his fragile reliance on being gifted with a repeatable system for acquiring new skills. As Dweck writes, "The view you adopt for yourself dictates the way you lead your life. If you stop worrying about appearing smart and start focusing on getting smarter, becoming is always better than being." What is one thing you've been avoiding because you're afraid you're not good at it? And what might happen if you simply added the word "yet"?
Don't just watch the story. Be part of it. Ink it. Imagine it. Live it with Ink 2 Video. Like if it hit you. Subscribe to stay in the story loop. Share it with someone who loves visuals.